What's going on YouTube? This is Falcon 2081 and we got some Battlefield Hardline first impressions video. Gonna give you guys my opinion on the game and just talk about a couple things. I've been playing the game very hard for the last week, and I think like 2 or 3 days that the game has been out. I've logged about 80 hours I believe so far, so I've been playing a lot. What you're gonna be seeing here is some team deathmatch gameplay on Dust Bowl. Yes, I am using the 300 knockout. That's what it looks like. It's a very badass gun, and I'll talk about it a little bit more towards the end of the video. But let's go ahead and let's start. Graphically, the game obviously isn't on par in terms of looks, and when comparing it to Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 obviously looks a lot better. I think this right here should have been killed, but I think I kind of wish that they would have had the level of optimization that Battlefield 4 has. But obviously, this being a new game is going to suffer from a little bit of performance issues when it comes to FPS dips and stuff like that, because I seem to, at least for me, I have a little bit worse performance playing this game than I do Battlefield 4. But obviously Battlefield 4 has been out for 2 years now, so they've had more than enough time to optimize the game and stuff like that. So and I am playing in 1440p with my dual GTX 670s. I am going to be upgrading to a 980 GTX in about a month or so, and, just to go down to a single card basically. But aside from that, the graphics, they look okay. A little bit on the cartoony side, not kind of like sort of the realism that Battlefield 4 has going on. But I think they're alright. Definitely did good work on a couple things, a couple textures that I feel like could use a couple more improvements. But aside from that, there's really just nothing else to say. I think some of the models and stuff like that, they look alright. The only thing that I do have a little bit of trouble sometimes is like when you're playing in the jungle or something like that. Sometimes it's hard to spot the character models in between all the foliage and all that stuff. So here I go on a pretty good tear with the 300 knockout, so enjoy that part. As far as the weapons go, the weapons, I feel they need to work a lot on the weapons. Right now the M16 and the M4 have way too much damage compared to some of the other guns. 28 damage compared to some of the other assault rifles that only have 25. I think they should honestly bring all the assault rifles to about 25 damage, and I think that'll be fine, because right now everybody's just using the M16, the M4, the K10, which is a cop mechanic weapon. 1200 rate of fire is just way too high. That thing will just destroy in close quarters. And I mean, I understand that the mechanics need a good fast rate of fire weapon, but that gun is just ridiculous up close. So hopefully they'll do something about that. The Enforcer class with their battle rifles, they need to turn down the recoil, because it's just way too high, especially on the cop side. The recoil and the first shot recoil on some of those guns it's just atrocious. I mean, they're fun to play with, to kind of mess around with, but hopefully they'll, like I said, turn down the recoil and make them more viable. And I hear that the patch is gonna be able to, or they're going to up the damage just a little bit, which I'm kind of okay I guess, but they're definitely gonna tune the recoil, which is good to hear. As far as the professionals go, the Scout Elite, they definitely need to turn down the rechambering speed of that, because right now it just fires as fast as a DMR, and it just basically negates that entire class entirely. I've played with DMRs, and they're okay, they're not too bad, but you know, why use a DMR when can I just use a Scout Elite with a 4x scope and then just basically be as fast as a DMR and get more damage. But I mean, aside other than that, you know, the weapons themselves just need a bit more fine-tuning and stuff like that, and hopefully they, you know, listen to the community, to things that they need to do. So the maps themselves aren't too bad. Obviously I'm playing on Dust Bowl here, which has a couple graphical issues in terms of texture flickering when you get the dust storm and stuff like that, and you'll see it later on in the video. Like towards the further background, you'll see the textures just blink in and out like crazy. The maps themselves aren't too bad. Some of my favorites, I think Riptide is one of them. I think that's a fun map to play on in Conquest, not in Team Deathmatch, because that thing is just ridiculous. And I think the map with the you know, with the weed laboratory in the underground is fun. And just a, you know, you got a couple different sizes, which is, you know, not too bad. And the block is the most ridiculous map I've ever seen. It's basically the new Operation Locker. It was fun oh, that was a good multi-kill. It was fun to play in the beginning, but now I kind of shy away from that map. In terms of you know, game modes, you know, you get Conquest. It's not too bad. It's generally, it feels like you're generally playing TDM though with flags, more like a domination. That's what it's kind of feels like. The rest of the game modes aren't too bad. Heist, Hotwire. Hotwire is kind of turning into a very big RPG fest now that everybody has, you know, all the upgrades for the cars and stuff like that. So hopefully they'll look into that game mode a little bit, at least make it so that the timers on the RPGs is increased or something, to reduce the explosive spam just a little bit more. Team Deathmatch is ridiculous. It's probably a very broken game mode right now. The spawns are just atrocious. You're constantly spawning or being put into a lot of the right next to enemies and stuff like that. And some of these maps are so big and all that stuff that you're still spawning into enemies, and sometimes you'll die, you know, 3-4 times in a row, which is, you know, ridiculous. And it's something that you know, the QA testers should have been able to have seen, you know, from the get-go. I mean, 15-20 seconds into the start of a match, it's, you know, it's already spawning you into trouble, and it's something that they need to fix. As long as they make it like Battlefield 4, I think TDM will be fine. And aside from that, haven't really had too many issues with the game. I did crash a couple times during the first day of the game, but aside from that, it's been smooth sailing. So the stability launch of the game has been very good, and, you know, I gotta at least give them an applaud for that, a nod for that, because they you know, made it so that the game wasn't like Battlefield 4, you know. But, you know, unfortunately, there's still a lot of things that are plaguing this game, you know, when it comes to, you know, weapon balance, spawns, a couple of things that are just annoying. But I think with time, the game won't be too bad. I just hope they do it soon, because on the PC side of things, unfortunately, the numbers aren't very optimistic. This game seems to have been a very big hit on, at least, you know, the PS4 and consoles, and PC players, you know, didn't elect to get this game. They basically were on a wait and see, and here you could see the textures flickering in the background there. But yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see in a couple months, because Battlefront comes out in December, when the new Star Wars movies comes out. So we'll see just if this game is still alive or not, and that's just one of my big worries as well, because I did pay for the deluxe with the premium up front, and so that's $120, and so I hope that the game definitely lasts longer than that. So, and hopefully they'll include the Battlefield 4 improvements into the game as well that aren't unfortunately in here yet in this build of the game. So let's talk about the knockout real quick. It took me a very long time to get this gun. It's a very hard assignment to do, only because the camera coins are bugged right now. It takes 10 intel assists to get one camera coin, and then the issue is that the way the intel assist works is that your camera will spot an enemy, then one of your teammates is supposed to kill that enemy while they're still being spotted. But if your teammate presses Q and for them to spot the enemy, it'll override the camera's auto spot. So they did say they are gonna fix it, but it's just an unfortunate thing that it's just buggy. And then the other thing is being able to get to reputation level 4. There's really only 2 ways to do it. You can't do it by yourself. Either you have a buddy that will help you out when him playing hacker and then helping out your squad to be able to get to level 4, or you can go to you can play a no-kill Hotwire server and just drive around for the entire game. So it takes about 10 minutes to get to reputation level 4, and I did it in about 3.5 hours, and that was without a boost. So because the matches are 20 minutes, so it only takes 10-11 minutes to get to reputation level 4, and that's really the only way to be able to complete that part of the assignment, which is unfortunate, but that's the only workaround really. So and then eventually after, and then the camera coins, that took me about 5.5 hours to do in team deathmatch, which is really the best place to do it. You just have to find some really good spots to be able to get the intel assist, but eventually I was able to get up to 300 knockouts. So it's a fun gun. Hopefully they won't tune it down, but that's pretty much the end of the match. I think I did pretty good, 28-7, first game with it. So, but I'm definitely gonna have more matches for you guys and stuff like that, so keep out. And I am gonna be streaming a lot too. I've been streaming a lot lately as well, so I'll definitely let you guys know when I stream on Twitch, and I'll put it on the channel. But other than that, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Until next time.